Today we're testing the new Harry Potter wizard wand from Jakks Pacific.
From who?
From Jakks Pacific.
From who?
From Jakks Pacific.
We're testing the brand new Harry Potter Wizard's Training Wand from Jakks Pacific, which Erin has trouble saying, but you can understand why. We're testing them, and Erin has got in her hand the Lord Voldemort Training Wand, and I have got the infamous Harry Potter. We're going to show you in a minute how these wands work and all the fun games and activities you can do with them. The first thing I should say is that I've put some footage of me and Erin playing with these at the end of the video, but for now I wanted to go through the main features of the wand so that you can see how they work and what gameplay you can expect to get from them. First thing to point out is the instructions that come with the wands are quite detailed, quite long and pretty intimidating to say the least. So if you are getting one, skip all that, watch my video instead, and you can see the 5 different modes of gameplay and get started with them straight away. I've got 2 of the wands here. They are available separately at $24.99 each. This is the Harry Potter wand and this is the Lord Voldemort wand. There is also a Dumbledore and Hermione Granger wand available on the market as well, but these are my 2 favourite designs. Each one comes with a light up tip, which means that if you are playing in the dark or as the light starts to go down, it makes it a little bit more spooky. You've got your cast button for performing spells. You've got 5 different play modes, which I'll go through shortly, and your on-off button at the bottom here. It's worth noting that if you do forget to turn it off, it has an auto shut off after 5 minutes, which will preserve battery life, which is always a nice little feature to make sure the batteries last as long as possible. In the pack then you've got this instruction sheet, which has got 11 different spells to perform, some of which you will recognise from the films, like the famous Wingardium Leviosa spell and this Arreta Momentum spell. Some of you diehards will recognise the others as well, but again, 11 different spells for you to practice and perfect. Like I said, there are 5 different play modes available, 2 of which, this one and this one, are single player, the rest of which are double player. One thing to say is if you only have the one child or the one wand, please do not think that you can't get this product, because you absolutely can. There's plenty to get involved with these 2 modes that will keep them occupied for hours. That said, having 2 wands does make it a little bit more exciting as you can compete against each other. And I think some of the best elements of this game are with the modes that require 2 wands. There's something to bear in mind. I'm now going to run through each mode with you so that you can see how they work and actually how the gameplay pans out. The first mode is the first button on your chart, and that is spell training mode. Now in this mode, you're asked to perform one of the 11 spells on this chart according to which light pattern lights upon your wand. This one is showing the bottom one down here, and that is the Vector spell, or the Ventus spell, sorry. Now on this one, you've got your top and bottom lights, and that is your Tarantalegra spell. So the idea would be that you stand up straight, you put your arms up, your shoulders back, your head high in the sky, you press your cast button, and you draw the pattern of the spell with your hand in the sky, and if you produce it right, the one play a clapping noise. If you get it wrong, it'll play a fizzle sound and tell you to do it again. Some of them can be quite tricky. They might look straightforward, but actually can be a little bit hard to perfect. So if you do want to skip a spell, if you're finding it too tricky and you want to do another one instead, simply press the button again and it'll give you a different light pattern and a different spell to perform. It's now asking for the 5 of them, which is the Mentalogics spell, which I'm not sure I'm pronouncing correctly, but you get the general gist. This one's good fun. It's really good at practicing and perfecting your spell technique. As I say, some of them can be quite tricky, so practice really does make perfect. The next mode is a 2-player mode and requires 2 wands to play. This is the noise as the wands syncing together. Now the idea is that you stand 2 feet apart from each other and both produce the same spell at the same time. The person who produces it the most quickly and the most accurately wins. So this one is asking them to produce the second one down from the bottom, which I think we've mentioned before is the Vector spell. So the idea would be you'd stand apart from each other, you'd look each other in the eyes and you'd shout out, "Vectors!" and you produce your spell. Like I said, the person that gets it most accurate and most correct would receive a little melody on their wand so that they are the winner, and the other person would be the loser. Again, you can carry on with this game for as long as you want to, practicing and seeing who is the most effective at their wand productions. I really like this one, and it's lots of good fun with 2 players. The third mode, which is hard to show on the camera, and probably my least favourite of the games with the wand, is this one. And this is the training mode. Again, it's a 2-player game, and it's a bit like rock, paper, scissors. You produce one of these 5 random spells, and one will trump the other person's. If you both produce the same spell, then it will just be a 0 score, and no one will be the winner. I find this one a little bit boring compared to the others, but it's worth noting that it's there, and it's another good way of practicing your spell technique. The 4th mode, which is probably our favourite mode, is called Wizard Tag. Now this one is a little bit like Laser Quest or Laser Tag. It requires 2 players to play. Unlike the other ones, this one doesn't require any real kind of technique in terms of producing spells. All you have to do is press and hold the cast button to fire off your spell. If you hit your opponent with the wand, what you'll see is they'll lose a light on their 5 lights. Now, the idea behind this one is that you run around, you hide, you leap out on your opponents. A bit like Laser Quest, you are hiding from them and trying to kind of shoot them when they're least awares. If they lose all 5 lights on their wand, they are out and they've lost the game. However, you can replenish your lives by holding out your wand in front of you, doing a counterclockwise circle, and it will rewind time, make like a little rewind noise, and all your lives will be replenished. This game is really, really good fun for running around, hiding, sneaking up on your opponents and trying to shock them. With loads of you playing the game at the same time, this would be really, really hilarious. So for Harry Potter parties or anything like that, with a few wands around, this could be a really, really exciting game. Erin's absolutely loved this, and in terms of the most fun from the product, this is definitely the one that we've played with the most. The final mode is this one, which is basically free play mode. Now with this one, the pressure is completely off. Again, great for younger players who might be struggling with the technique of the wand production. You basically have to just do whatever spells you like, however you want, whenever you want. Don't have to worry about getting them correct. You can move on as and when you see fit to. So overall, we really love the product. The Wizard Tag is our absolute favourite, the Mode 4. That is a double player game. But from a single player point of view, even the spell training one at the beginning is quite useful to play on your own. And I think perfecting those 11 spells can be quite hard and quite good fun. And there's plenty of hours of gameplay with this product. The one thing that I would say is an absolute negative for me is the quality of this paperwork, to be honest. So you spent $24.99 on the product and your spell sheet is just this little photocopied piece of paper in the pack. Now I would have expected at least to have these on a laminated piece of cardboard, perhaps in colour, perhaps some kind of attractive design of Marauder's map or something fun, but instead this is a document that's going to get thumbed, referenced quite a lot, potentially quite easily damaged or even lost, and then when you've lost it you can't refer to this at all and have to look it up online. I just think it's a bit disappointing when you spent so much money on the product that this isn't a little bit better done. Other than that, the only risk of them is that people might, I guess, try and hit each other with the wands like some kind of duel. But again, that's about supervision and making sure that children are playing correctly. So overall, love the product. I think it's going to be really good fun this year. I think there'll be lots of these under the tree. I'm now going to show you some action footage of me and Erin playing with them so you can get an idea of how they work. Any questions at all that you want to ask me, please feel free to post them below and I'll come back to you as soon as I can. I'm going to play a bit of Wizard Tag. So I have my 5 lives. And let's see how long they last for. Ready, Erin? Ah! You hit him there and you got 2 lives left!
I ran out!
She's turned back time and her lives are back. Let's go again, Erin. Ready? Go!
Still got 5. Still got 5.
Tag game, and I've got all 5 lights on mine.
So
And
bad,
Erin
so bad.
is going to try and kill me by zapping me with her wand.
Yeah.
Are you ready, Erin?
Yeah.
Go!